their nation.
4 minutes, under 4 minutes before launch, intense concentration all around. Tonight represents years of work for many of the people here. Across the base, everyone attentive as we near liftoff. And across the base, another place that's very busy tonight is up here in the launch zone. They're closer to the pad than we are here in Jupiter. The launch operations manager and his teams going over the final checks on the launch system. And among these teams, we're seeing more and more women in the ranks of Arianespace engineers. Now, Jesus, this is where you're usually sitting up there, 12 kilometers away from Jupiter. What's going on up there at minus 3 minutes?
Well, the people are focused on final readiness of mechanical, fluid, and electrical system. All the engine valves are being opened, the heating of some battery, deflection of engine nozzles checked. So everybody hold their breath to be performing.
All in all, up there about 200 people, I would say. Huh? Arianespace managers. Once the vehicles left the ground, their work is done. The status panels on the left, all is going according to schedule, and we know it because the status panels are green.
Yes, we're ready for launch. They show the health status of all the system, the satellite readiness, the launch system, the vehicle plus the pad, the range system, radar and telemetry, and the weather. We can launch in the rain, but not in case of high ground on altitude winds or with risk of
lightning is also
yes.
a problem.
An important aspect is the duration of the final checks and operation. They have to be compatible with the instant of liftoff, which shall trigger the launch.
The status panels showing the launcher, the satellites, all the services available on the base. The yellow bars in the middle of the screen, take a look. These are the propellant feeder arms going into the upper stage. They're very important because they're the last thing you're going to see before liftoff. This is a split screen, a closer shot of them. Liquid hydrogen, the LH on the left, liquid oxygen on the right. The arms are part of the ground equipment and the launch table. Now, the upper stage needs to be filled up right up to the last minute.
Yeah, because it's called propellant evaporates in this heat. The LOX is at minus 180 degrees and the hydrogen at minus 250. So they boil off and they need constant topping up. People who are here tonight or who have been here know what I mean.
And the people here tonight in Jupiter, as we approach 1 minute, are making their way out onto the two terraces. The DDO is going to call out the 1 minute mark. The two terraces on either side of Jupiter here allow an excellent launch of the liftoff as Ariane passes overhead.
Top. H0 moins 1 minute.
A minute to go. We're in the final moments of final countdown.
Yeah, so you can watch us on the internet at arianespace.com or also from your iPhone or your iPad.
Now, the final seconds, here's what to watch for, what they call the ignition sequence. At minus 5 seconds, the yellow bars, the cryogenic arms, swing back. At 0, the main engine lights, but we don't have ignition yet, do we?
Yes, because in the very first second it is open the hydrogen chamber valve, and until 6 seconds is performed the Vulcan checkout, and at 7 seconds when it's finalized, and only if everything is okay, it is launched, the ignition of the boosters. So there's no way back.
If all is well, then and only then the computers give the order to light the boosters. When we're going to go, we'll let you hear the DDO.
Attention pour le décompte final.
He will call out the final countdown. We'll be back after Ariane has cleared the tower.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, top. Allumage Vulcain. Allumage 2 EAP et décollage. La propulsion est nominale, tous les paramètres à bord sont nominaux.
Well, the cryogenic arms swung open on time. You saw it, triggering the ignition sequence at 1849 local. And right on time, Ariane 5 began her mission, roaring off the pad here in French Guiana. You see the trail of gold leaving behind, rising into the night sky through the light clouds. So we do have our good visibility. We'll be able to see the separation of the boosters and maybe even the fairing.
Always impressive, the liftoff. Ariane weighs 773 tons at liftoff. She's burning an impressive amount of tons, 5 tons full per second. And we're feeling now the sound is coming.
La propulsion est nominale.
To Jupiter.
All is okay. All is okay on board, says the DDO, as Ariane follows the program in her onboard computer. We're in the first of 4 flight phases. The first 3 are powered, the last is not. We'll describe each in turn and in detail so you can follow Ariane as she heads across the Atlantic. Right now, the first phase, the single Vulcan is called, the core stage engine, and the 2 boosters are burning.
Tous les paramètres à bord sont nominaux, la propulsion est nominale.
Everything is okay on board, says the DDO. How about the satellites now? They're riding, they're waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting. They may be on or off depending on the customer's choice, waiting for the time to injection in orbit. Anyway, it's a special moment for them since they are experiencing now important accelerations and vibration during this first atmospheric phase of the flight. However, there have been sites for that, and you know that they are vibration tested on ground before sending them to crew. And also the launch vehicle is now withstanding enormous loads also.
La propulsion est nominale.
The boosters will burn for another 5 or 6 seconds, and you'll hear the DDO call out that milestone. Then they will be extinguished and separated. And there, that looks like the flame out of the boosters right there. You'll see them fall away.
Séparation des étages d'accélération
There
à
we are.
bord.
2 points of light on either side falling away. The yellow dot in the middle, that's the core stage. That's Ariane continuing to burn. On either side, the boosters going to fall about 500 kilometers away from shore. Now, how are they separated?
Well, they have on board a pyrotechnical cutting system